Hey everyone, this is our presentation on proportion, and it's brought to you by Taylor Durand and Sophie Cooperman. So what is proportion? Proportion refers to the relative size and scale of the various elements in a design. In other words, proportion is the relationship of two or more elements in a design and how they compare with one another, like this large dog compared to these smaller ones. The elements of harmony, symmetry, and balance are all added to a design by use of proportion.
It is important to ensure that the elements within your composition look harmonious. The correct sizing, scaling, and distribution of the elements within the composition will result in good proportion. When sizing certain elements within the composition, it is important to keep in mind their height, width, and depth with respect to the other elements. It is also important to remember to account for the space between two or more elements. Sometimes proportion can be exaggerated on purpose in order to send an important message to the audience.
Harmony is an additive your design has by use of proportion. Harmony is when elements of a composition seemingly belong together in size and distribution. In these examples, you can see that one object is made to be much larger than the rest, giving that object greater importance, but the composition still has harmony. The use of proportion makes the man on the left really look smaller than that water bottle. Proportion also played a factor in the taking of this ridiculous picture of me and my dad, where the foot in the picture really does look like it's much larger than we are. Symmetrical balance refers to the balance that is achieved by arranging elements on either side of the center of a composition in an equally weighted manner. Here you may recognize Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man as an example of symmetry. Da Vinci used the observations of the Roman architect Vitruvian on the human body to create this symmetrical diagram. The principle he uses are still used today. Logos are something we see and recognize every day, and many famous ones are symmetrical. When you get your coffee in Addlestone Library, you have a principle of design in your hand, proportion.
Balance refers to the placement of elements in a design and how every part of the design has a weight. For example, if you have a darker part to your image and a lighter part, the darker areas are going to feel more heavy than the lighter ones. This will make the design look unbalanced, which will make it also look not proportional.
Balance can also be used to highlight pieces of your design that you want to stand out. If you make part of your text on a flyer unbalanced with the rest of the text, it will stand out more, catching the reader's eye.
Color is a very important element of proportion. How the different colors in the design compare to one another and how you choose which colors to incorporate really affect how the design turns out. Certain colors combined together create a sense of unity, while other colors combined together will create a sense of disunity.
When choosing the color of your design or color scheme, it's imperative that you keep in mind the proportion of your design. An example of this was the movie project poster we created. The colors used highlighted the proportion of the faces in the design and united all the pictures we used to create the one piece.
Creating proportion in your design is extremely important. Many people use the rule of thirds technique when creating their design. The rule of thirds technique is used to guide artists to create a more interesting piece. The design is divided into 9 squares of equal size, and this helps the artist see where the center of the image is and helps them place the subject of their image off to one side. Because of this, the viewer looks at the piece as a whole instead of just focusing on the center of the design. The artist also incorporates the 4 major elements of proportion, which are harmony, symmetry, balance, and color.